So a few months ago, I dropped my debut single, Late Night Love.
I got this late night love just for
And today I'm going to be breaking down my process for designing everything from the album art to the marketing to the lyric video and everything in between. So yeah, let's get into it.
night love.
One of the biggest hopes that I had in finally being able to share my music on a streaming platform was that it would reach people that can resonate with it and that could relate to the lyrics. And so I wanted the album art to be something that they can recognize and see instantly that they could relate to the song in some level without even fully listening to it yet. I wanted them to be able to just look at it and be like, ooh, what's this? Let me listen to this because I might be able to relate. So the song is about someone that I met on Grindr. If you haven't put that together by now, surprise!
Surprise, motherfucker!
You're probably straight. So I knew that, for anyone who uses the app, the UI is instantly recognizable. When you open up Facebook or Instagram or Twitter, like if you see that UI or that user interface, you will recognize it instantly. And so that was kind of like my launching off point. I was like, okay, song's about meeting someone on Grindr. And so I was kind of starting to think, okay, what's a good visual that represents the experience of Grindr? And so when I think about using Grindr, I just imagined being in your room late at night, lights are off, you're in bed, and the only thing lighting the room is the glow of your phone. And so I kind of took that concept and distilled it down to just a phone floating in darkness with the screen on and Grindr's on it. Aside from that, I was also considering okay, what's the most typical message you would get on Grindr? If you use dating apps in general, you probably know that a lot of times the small talk is really dry and boring and repetitive, and it's kind of a combination of a lot of the same things. Hey, how you doing? What's up? What are you up to?
What are you doing?
How about you? I'm okay. How are
And so I kind of took all of that and meshed it down to WID, which means what are you doing? And also it's that's the opening line of my song, 3 a.m. hotline bling, text says WID. So I had the glowing phone with Grindr open and then the speech bubble that was kind of lighting the scene. So I really wanted to continue to play with, taking elements from the Grindr UI and kind of remixing it just so I could add little more things here and there to really drive the concept forward so that there was just a whole bunch for the person who sees it to latch onto. The design kind of went through a bunch of different versions. I tried a whole bunch of different things, and one of the things I tried was I took the part of the profile that says the profile name and their age, and I used that as the title, where I put Late Night Love, the title. That's kind of where I arrived, but then it's kind of standard practice for me where, if I know that a design is going somewhere, whether it's a t-shirt or it's going to be on a billboard or it's going to be on social media, sometimes you want to kind of keep in mind the environment it's going to be in so that you can, take those into consideration to make sure that, it's really optimized for the space. So I created a mock-up of the Spotify play window and I added in my album art, and I kind of realized that with the way that it was placed, Late Night Love, the title on the album art was right above where the title actually would be on Spotify. And I know it wasn't too much of a big deal, I'm sure it looked fine either way, but I ended up resonating more with it, just being distilled down even more and taking out that title and just sticking with the image of just the phone floating with Grindr open and the text bubble of WID. And so that's kind of where I ended up with the album art. But then I tucked away the version of the album art with the title on it, and I kept that and ended up using it for marketing. So that version of the album art ended up becoming a little bit of a video animation for the actual post that I posted when the song dropped. So for the launch post, I had the text message bubble float up, and the phone is hovering up and down super subtly with a snippet of the song in the background. And the credits section is based off the Grindr profile, and I used it to shout out my producer, my mixer, my master, and some special thanks to some of my friends who helped me along the way. When I first announced the single, I used this animation to promote the release date and to promote the pre-save link. I made sure to make it 15 seconds so that I could use it as an Instagram story sponsored ad. And then I also did these countdown graphics using the Instagram countdown sticker, but I totally screwed it up. I think for a whole week I didn't realize that I set the countdown to like, it was like a day off. So, and it sucked too because I had people tap it to set a reminder when it went out, and I was like, oh shoot, man, like it's the wrong day. So I think it was like the week of I caught it, and I finally made a new countdown and desperately tried to get everyone who already tapped to get a reminder to tap the new one to get a reminder. I don't know how well that worked, but you know, it'd be like that sometimes when you do this by yourself. Anyways, I created a whole bunch of graphics that went up on like my Facebook. I changed my Twitter banner, I changed my Facebook banner. On the night that it dropped, I changed all of them to say available now. So exactly 2 weeks after the song drop was Valentine's Day. That was sort of by design, you know, because I was joking that, you know, it would be really cool to drop the lyric video on Valentine's Day so they could learn the words and be sad with me. And funny enough, I think that kind of happened. Discover Weekly and a bunch of the algorithmic playlists on Spotify like kicked in, and like I got like a huge spike in streams on the night of February 14th. So that was awesome. I wanted to hug all my fellow single people. They vibed with me. It happened. So the opening of the video, you see the title of the song is being typed out, and I actually like screen recorded myself typing Late Night Love in Grindr and then hitting send. And I actually sent it to like a real profile because I needed the sound effect, and like I sent it and then just like blocked them right away because I didn't really want to talk to them. I hope that I blocked them fast enough so that they never saw anything that I sent them, but I guess I'll never know. So as the video opens, we zoom into our scene. I took the timestamp of where it says like the date you sent your message and changed that into labels for verse and chorus. In the Grindr UI, the outgoing messages are orange and incoming messages are blue. Because these are the lyrics, I figured that the message would be outgoing messages because they're coming from me. And it kind of like served this whole idea that like I was sending all these text messages to my late night love, blowing up their phone and pouring my heart out and telling them all my feelings and having it be one-sided. And so you'll see that in the bridge I really hammered this home because there's a little section right before the bridge where there's like an instrumental break. Shout out Angelo David, my producer, and also he did all the instrumentation and harmonies. But right before the bridge he does a guitar solo, and in that solo the camera pans in a little bit and you can notice that the messages get marked as delivered and then immediately get marked as read. And the timestamp is 3:02 a.m. because at that point we're like about 2.5 minutes into the song, and the beginning of the song started at 3 a.m. Hotline bling. That's why I did that. I thought it was clever, okay? So as the camera pans in, you see it go from delivered to being read, and then you see that he goes offline. And he goes offline for the rest of the song. Ooh, bonus! I make a total of 4 references to different songs. Some of them are pretty obvious. But if you can guess all 4, comment down below, and if you're the first to get it right, then I will shout you out in the next video. Hey. So if you look at the text bubbles that are popping up at the top of the screen and then the text bubbles that are like scrolling up on the phone, I created 2 versions of all the text bubbles, like exactly from this down to the size. So I took all of the lyrics, all of the text bubbles, created another Illustrator file, and then went to each one and created like the kind of distilled version of them without the text. In After Effects, I had to like time the scrolling exactly so that like the sizes change exactly, and then you see them turn into the message that pops up, and that took a long time, but I was very happy with the outcome. It came out exactly how I wanted to, where you could see all the text bubbles like pop up and it turns into the... Yeah, I said that right. You get it. You understand, right? You get me. Yeah, that's about it. I hope you enjoyed that. This channel is like my space to kind of gush about all things marketing, social media marketing, photography, video, art and design, and everything in between, and just things in general that I feel that I can provide value in and hopefully help you guys elevate, you know, the content that you create online as an artist, and, you know, find ways to continue to market yourself and put yourself out there so that we can all live our best lives as creators online. I've been making YouTube content for like work, and and I've done like random little videos here and there, but I've never really hunkered down and committed to doing a channel and like really trying to push my own YouTube channel where I do stuff like this. So come along with me on this journey. If you enjoyed this video and want to see more, like please consider subscribing. My hope with this channel is that I can build a community where we can all gush and nerd out about all of these things together and trade tips and tricks in the comments and hopefully provide some value to each other along the way. You know, some of my favorite conversations with my friends who are also creators are the ones where we just kind of nerd out about this stuff and get excited about the little things that we learned and how it applies to our projects. And so I wanted my YouTube channel to be that space for my viewers and for myself. And so having said that, whether you're a fellow musician or a designer who's done a project like this, what are some things that you struggled with and how did you overcome it? And do you have some tips and tricks that, you know, maybe I could take advantage of in the next time I design an album art? And maybe you have questions. Hop down into the comments below. I'd love to talk to you and get to know you, and let's keep the conversation going, guys. Yay! If you're interested, please stream my song Late Night Love. It's on Spotify. I'll put a link to it in the bio. I'll also put a link to the lyric video if you want to watch that. And yeah, that's about it. Thank you for watching. I'll see you guys soon.